guys, and welcome back to another episode of Change Wired podcast. My name is Angela Sharina, your host. I'm your partner in change, transformation, in you doing the work and growing your future self into the person you are inspired to be. And on this podcast, we are diving into all kinds of topics, but all around this bigger topic and theme of human potential, of unlocking, using, discovering more of it, and creating more positive impact in the world and living most extraordinary lives that we all want to live, meaningful and fulfilling. Today, guys, we're going to start diving into different concepts from this new book that just came out. I think it came out just a couple of days ago. Beyond Belief, the science-backed way to stop limiting yourself and achieve extraordinary results by Julie Lee and Nir Eyal. And I want to stop on the part of the title of this book, The Science-Backed Way. And I want to go on a little bit of a rant about science-backed way and why it's so important to actually use science-backed ways to work on things like our limiting beliefs, our limiting conversations and emotions that for one reason or the other, we grew in ourselves, that we developed in ourselves, partially because of our circumstances, of our environments, or opinions and beliefs of other people that are always around us. And those are not necessarily the best beliefs and opinions that serve us. So back to science-backed way. I was having a conversation with just someone in my proximity while I was having lunch, which was plain yogurt with blueberries, with protein powder, some cocoa powder, all without added sugars and all the protein rich. And I was quite proud of about this lunch. And I was, about to show it off when she said something like the person, and it was she, said something along the lines, well, why are you eating this cold food? It's not good for for you in general, she said, based on Ayurvedic tradition. And to which I kind of like sat down there and thought about it and realized, A, that we all have different beliefs and opinions and systems we use to navigate such a simple thing as having a meal. But B, then I said why I was actually having that lunch. Because things like, cold food isn't good for you because, according to Ayurveda, it slows down or makes your digestive fire less effective. Based on any randomized control studies, peer-reviewed good science, there is no evidence that having your cooler yogurt for life will create any sort of negative consequences that I personally care about. And so that just made me think why I do certain things in a way I do them, and also why when working with my clients, I always make sure that I distinguish, that I make a difference between things I recommend that are based on really good or some good science and things that I just tend to believe because they're useful, because what's useful to me and what works to me might not be useful and it might not work to my clients in the lives of my clients. But what is science backed has a pretty damn good chance of working across the board for a lot of people. And that's why science backed way is important. Guys, I used to struggle with weight loss and my emotions and my stressors and my sleep in my younger years. I used to read all these diet books and health optimization and longevity books. And you know what I hated about all of them? They were frustratingly inconsistent. One day it works for you, then it stops working for you, and then the author who wrote this whole book even changed their whole approach to life longevity, diet, and self-optimization. and they are on to the next thing, and you're kind of left wondering, is this all there is? Like this inconsistent works and it doesn't work sort of approach to life. And that's where I transitioned more and more and started following more science-backed influencers, so to speak, and researchers and practitioners and coaches in the field. I started following more and more science-backed stuff and applying it to myself and into the life of my clients. By the way, since I started doing that, I got into the best shape of my life. I sleep well every night, and I've been in the best shape of my life ever since. I stopped all the yo-yo dieting and all yo-yo weight, and I learned how to regulate my emotions and stressors and got in pretty damn good place using research, science-backed approach. And again, the reason why I love it so much, it might not have the perfect answer to everything. It might not tell you everything, but when we have good science-backed research, you can pretty damn sure that what it recommends, it will deliver consistent result. And when it says, when you do this, there is a high chance that that's gonna happen. That's why we have modern medicine. And you know why modern medicine has more people following its advice than any other non-traditional medicine, whatever opinion you have on it, but it has more people following it because it creates more predictable results. And more predictability means you can use it in so many different scenarios across so many different people and populations and create the result that you can rely on. And I don't know about you, but in this world with fast shifting change and all this, technology and stuff accelerating, it just gets more and more of noise. It gives me some sort of calm and peace to know that there is a way of navigating the world which is actually pretty damn consistent. And that's what I love about a science-backed method. So again, back to the name of this book, Beyond Belief, the science-backed way to stop limiting yourself and achieve extraordinary results. And I already started reading that, and in a couple of days going to be done with that, and I'm going to bring to you more practical science-backed insights to work with your inner narrative, your inner charter, your beliefs, so you start creating the ones that are more useful to you. And that's where you start getting breakthrough, extraordinary results. And a lot of these techniques I already use with my clients, and that's why I also really love about this book. It kind of puts in a nice, very simple, usable, approachable framework, step-by-step toolkit for different situations to, again, allow yourself to rewire, to rebuild the inner narrative and emotional life that usually follows that in a way that can consistently, because it's science-backed way, bring you better results. So that's a whole thing that I have for a science-backed method and why I'm such a huge fan of it and why I have almost now allergic reactions to people just saying, oh, it's unhealthy or not good for you because this, thing that nobody really rigorously tested, but many people used to believe. People believe all kinds of stuff and not necessarily for the good of them. So that's why I prefer science-backed method, which is not based on belief, but on actual evidence and really good research, which again, not perfect, but a lot more reliable. And speaking to the practicality of this podcast, I want to share with you a few tools that I've already gotten from the book and I already used in my coaching practice and on myself many, many times with consistent results with all of my clients, myself including. So you can start using them in your daily life to start reshaping your beliefs or shaping them up so they can serve you. And that's the word I want you to sort of focus on and ruminate, ponder upon, serve you. You see, beliefs, compared to science-backed randomized control studies and research, beliefs are the things that don't necessarily have all the evidence we need to be science-backed and research, but they are supposed to be something useful, like a shortcut that we can use that helps us to navigate life in a way that helps us succeed and grow and in general get more of life than what we want. That's what useful beliefs do. Beliefs that aren't really useful, but we tend to hold, do a little different thing. You hold them and you use them to navigate your life without some very often acknowledging that or being aware of that. But they don't actually lead you to better places, to that future you that you are inspired to be. For example, and we're going to apply the 3-step toolkit or 3 new science-backed ways to break through and start rebuilding with practices your limiting beliefs to, again, create more growth and forward movement towards the future you that you actually want to be living as. So let's say an example, and it's quite a common example. You failed at something. You didn't deliver a good enough presentation that you hoped to deliver. You didn't do a good enough sales call. You didn't do a good enough talk. Or you simply has been trying a lot of things and failing, let's say in building your business, which is very relevant to my life. Or maybe with your weight loss effort and you just haven't been succeeding, just more feels like failure. And you start thinking, oh, I'm broken, or I'm not good at giving presentations, or I'm not good at communication, or I'm not good at business. And that might become your consistent narrative, your belief. You start saying things like, I'm not a great public speaker, or not a good public speaker, or maybe even I'm a shitty public speaker, or I'm not good at sales, or I'm a bad salesman or saleswoman, or I'm not a good businesswoman or businessman. And the problem with that is it only gives you or is based on a snapshot of your experience, even though it might be repeated experience, but is it all the experience that can be, that is there? And so the next thing, the next tool or the first tool that you can start using against those limiting beliefs to start rewiring and rebuilding them. So the first tool is start gathering evidence for the opposite. So let's say you develop this belief for one reason or the other that you are not great at communication, or you develop this belief that you are not that great with this healthy eating stuff, or that you are not great with sales or with business and you're just destined not to be great with that. Start gathering evidence for the opposite team. Root for the team that actually has a different sort of evidence. Have you ever delivered a good enough presentation? Have you improved? Maybe you were really bad and then you tried something out, you learned something and you got better. With sales, have you been at the same level of badness forever? And have you tried learning certain scripts and techniques and strategies like spin selling or gap selling or any other kind of selling? Have you tried it out? Have you focused on practices? Have you actually worked on it to say that you're just not good at it? Nobody is born being a great writer or a great speaker or even a great musician or artist. You get some talent, but until you start consistently working on it, it doesn't shine. It doesn't produce this wow result. So why sales? Or why presenting something? Or why business be any different? No. It's a skill, a set of skills that you can work on, that you can develop, and that you can get better at. So back to, let's say, sales conversation. Have you worked on those sales techniques? Have you practiced it? Or maybe you improved. Maybe you were really bad, but then you got a little bit not so bad. More often than not, most of my clients will have enough proof that no, actually, I'm not bad. I just either have not worked on it enough, or I just focused on this one thing or a couple of things or a few things that didn't work, even though before that I had quite a lot of successes or improvements under my belt as well. So tool number 1 is start gathering evidence against your limiting beliefs, and even more so, start writing it down, because your brain somehow got really good at paying attention to the bad stuff and not necessarily so good at paying attention to the good stuff that you actually do, because failure hurts so much that you forget all the good stuff that happened before that, right? So tool number 1, start gathering evidence against your limiting beliefs. I call it confidence stock, because at the end of the day, the more positive evidence you gather, the more confidence you create. So that is kind of creating and building up your confidence stock, right? So number 1, confidence stock, start gathering evidence against your limiting beliefs. So your brain start focusing and believing some different story which serves you better. And to the tool number 2 on serving you better. I teach my clients all the time and I check myself with that. Whatever I believe, does it serve my growth and improvement journey? Let's say again, I believe I'm not good at business. And so then what? I'm going to just give up and stop trying and make peace with my failure and just never reach for the goals, the aspirations that I have. If I believe that I'm fundamentally bad at something, there is a huge chance that I'm not going to even try to improve my skill set. And you know what it means? The less action you take, the less chance you will actually improve. And so you just get to confirm that limiting belief, but that limiting belief did not happen because it was true. It happened because you stopped practicing. And so on the practicality or serving you part, question the motivation of your belief, or question the reason, like where does belief lead me? How does it serve me? Does it serve me? Right? Believing that you're bad at something and can't improve usually does not make you want to go out there, try new things, learn new things, improve, work on things that actually make getting better a lot more plausible. And in most cases, it happens. If you work on things start working for you, right? So does this belief that you're not good at X, does it serve you? Or believing that you can improve can serve you better? I don't know about you, but when I choose to believe that with effort, with consistency, with practice, I can get better, my mood is fundamentally different. I wake up motivated, eager to start the day, to try it out again, to figure something out. So I do get a chance at getting better and prove to myself, hey, I can completely transform my life. And I have more than enough proof to tell me that yes, when I work on things improve, which I use as an evidence to build up my belief, that confidence stock that I actually can improve, which then expands my life. And that's the most important point. Does this belief help you to expand your life, to grow, to have good experience of your life, good mood, good vibes? Life is all about experiencing it. So if you believe something that makes you feel sad and like somebody hit you, or like a bus hit you, maybe not a good belief to hold, even if it's more true than not, or at least based on your recent evidence, right? Does it serve you? Because fundamentally, you have only today and only one life to live. And if you don't hold the beliefs that make you want to do more, be more, expand your life, and get out there more, like if you don't have those kinds of beliefs, why bother, right? And that's another good question to ask. So you then gonna just stop and die and not try anything again. By the way, guys, if you hear noise, there is some work going on. So I try to finish my podcast and bring you the third tool to work with your limiting beliefs, to improve the conversation inside of you, to improve your emotional life as well, and to maybe be more objective, not just more, on the negative side of things, noticing things that don't work. And that is called tool number 3 is distancing, or specifically talking to you in a third person. Like, for example, I can talk to myself in a third person like this. Angela is going through challenging times in her business. Angela is working out how to get in front of the right people, to be able to promote her services, to grow her vision, to help more people. Angela has not figured it out yet, but for sure, if she keeps trying, she will, because that's the evidence that I have. When you keep trying, when you keep working on things improve. So Angela will get on your ass today and get in front of your computer, schedule meetings, schedule workshops, I don't know, whatever it takes to get out there more and to try more things to figure out this business thing out. That's how you talk to yourself as a friend would. And this technique allows you to do a couple of things. A, you tend to find solutions or see solutions that you haven't been able to see before, and also come up with more objective advice versus just being subjectively biased towards negativity and stress usually. So you do become better at giving yourself advice. Like you usually, they say we tend to see better when giving advice to other people than when we give advice to yourself. So why don't treat yourself as other people and give yourself better advice? So that's reason number one, why it's so effective. And reason number two, it allows you to process it more through your prefrontal cortex versus your emotional brain, which lowers your stress responses, your emotional responses, which then allows you to, again, create more objectivity, create more balanced view of the situation, and not just feel calmer, feel less stressed, feel more optimistic about things you can try, things you can do, create. But it, again, allows you to create more balanced solutions, give yourself better advice, and most importantly, have less resistance towards that advice, but instead having more desire or more motivation to actually act on that advice. Because when usually we hear something from our friends, we're like, hey, maybe not a bad idea, right? Talking to yourself in third person, it's a very well-known, common, yes, science-backed and proven to be effective way to de-emotionalize your internal narrative, to lower your stress, to lower your anxiety, at the same time have better decision-making and better action plans and advice. So then you can proactively, in a more effective way, approach your life, solving problems, and you can grow and move your life forward. Before we sum it all up and you jump off to continue living your amazing life, because no matter what, no matter where you are, being alive and having an opportunity to live your life, you already won, guys, even if it, like for myself, feels challenging at times. But anyhow, before you jump off, please do not forget to share this podcast episode with at least one other person who might be struggling to improve their belief system, their inner narrative, their emotional life, so they can move forward more effectively, better, stronger, not getting stuck all that often. So more of us start using science-backed tools to create this inner garden, this inner life that helps us to live our life better, feeling better, and doing better, right? So share this podcast episode with that one friend that might be struggling, but also rate, review, so we reach more people in the world, not just those 11,000 plus cities and I think 100 something countries, but a lot more people, because I don't know about you, but I personally believe we do need more reliability and consistency in working on our inner life, because from inner life, from inside out, we start any change. And that inner life, just like any garden, requires work as well. So before you jump off, let's summarize what we learned today. We learned 3 science-backed tools to start working with your beliefs, rewiring them so you have more of the beliefs that work for you, for your personal growth, for expanding your life, versus keeping you stuck and limiting your development and growth in some way or the other, right? So tool number 1, we called it confidence stock, and it's all about gathering evidence for the positive side of you, of your change, of your awesomeness. So you notice not just things that you stumble with, but also a lot of things that you are getting better with and might already be quite good at, right? So confidence stock, write down, gather evidence for positive change, for your wins, for things that work for you or are improving. Tool number 2, question the motivations of your beliefs. Basically, ask yourself this question. Does this belief serve me? Does it move me forward? Does it help me grow? Does it help me expand my life? Or does it keep me stuck where I don't want to be, right? You can choose your beliefs, and even though they might not be science-backed, but if they work for you and they move your life and you forward where you want to go toward the future that's all that matters. And tool number 3, self-distancing, or speaking to yourself in third person, especially in those challenging, emotionally and maybe stress challenging moments when you do need a little bit more balance, a little bit more logic, and a little bit less stress. So I can talk to myself, Angela. How is Angela doing today? Right? So talk to yourself in the third person to help yourself, give yourself more balanced advice, and also follow that advice, having a more balanced internal life, not up and down and all or nothing. I hope this podcast was very useful and applicable. Please, guys, if you get value from this podcast, also connect with me. Instagram, Angela Brain Body Coach, and Angela Sharina on LinkedIn. Connect and let me know that you love this podcast. That makes my day. And what else? Well, you know what to do. Till next time, keep growing. Till next time.